Xbox just had one of its most important showcases in years, and honestly, it's not hard to see why. We've got major updates on games like Gears of War, Halo, Fable, State of Decay 3, and Clockwork Revolution. On paper, this is exactly what the fans have been asking for. And that's what makes this event so interesting. Because for years, the criticism surrounding Xbox wasn't complicated. It was very simple. Where are the games? It became the criticism that followed the brand everywhere. Every showcase, every comparison, every online debate, Microsoft spent billions buying studios. They promised a strong future. But years after years, they're told the fans to wait. Wait for next exclusive or wait for next generation. But after the showcase, I believe that's not the conversation anymore. Because for the first time in years, Xbox actually looked healthy. The games, the announcement, the excitement, all of that was there. So you may be wondering, if games are no longer the question around Xbox, then what is it? But the more I watch the showcase, the more I realize something. The most important announcement wasn't a game. It wasn't a trailer, and definitely not a release date. For me, it was the realization that Xbox is no longer a console company. I mean, let's be honest. Xbox needed a win. Not just a decent showcase or something just better than expected, but a true win. The pacing was strong and the variety was there. The lineup felt more confident. Because instead of spending more time talking about future promises, Microsoft spent more time talking about what actually exists. And yes, that is important. Because after years of rebuilding, Xbox finally looked like a company with momentum. And clearly, the reaction online reflected that. I mean, for once, the people weren't asking where the games were. But while everyone focused on the lineup, I just couldn't help thinking about something. And I mean, obviously, the games matter. That's why we're all here. But the announcement that stuck with me wasn't a game. Instead, it was the direction. Because when you step back and look at what Microsoft showed, a pattern starts to appear. Xbox is not becoming more focused. It's becoming bigger. The company continues pushing the Game Pass. They continue pushing the cloud gaming, and also continues to invest in portable experiences. And at the same time, they continue expanding the Xbox ecosystem far beyond a single box under your TV. And that's when it hit me. Microsoft may not be trying to win the console war anymore. It just looks to me like they're actually trying to make the console war irrelevant. Because when you look at PlayStation, the strategy is easy to understand. Buy the console and play the games. Easy. Xbox, on the other hand, is becoming something different. Microsoft wants you in the ecosystem. How you enter the ecosystem is less important. Console, PC, Game Pass, cloud, whatever. Microsoft seems to be happy as long as you're in the Xbox universe. And honestly, that's a radical shift keeping in mind how the gaming industry traditionally worked. I mean, for decades, the gaming industry fought over hardware. Every generation felt like a battle. Who sold more consoles, who had the better exclusives, who won the Black Friday or Christmas sales. But Microsoft increasingly acts like those metrics doesn't matter anymore. Because if a player subscribes to the Game Pass, does it really matter what they're playing? If someone buys Xbox game in another device, does it really matter whether they own an Xbox console? The traditional console war assumes the hardware is the goal. Now, Microsoft seems to be treating hardware as just an option. And honestly, I believe that's a huge difference now. But remember that everything has risk. Of course, this strategy isn't perfect. There are real questions behind it. I mean, if Xbox exists anywhere, what really makes Xbox special? If every screen can become an Xbox, why buy the Xbox hardware? If exclusivity matters less, can the brand really maintain a strong identity? If you think about it, those are legitimate concerns, and I don't think Microsoft has fully answered that yet. But whether you agree with the strategy, one thing is becoming clear. Xbox is now playing a different game than it was 10 years ago. Maybe even a whole different game than Sony and Nintendo are playing right now. But in conclusion, a few years ago, Xbox was trying to convince people that it had games. Today, the battle feels very different. The games are there, the studios are there, the investment is there. And after the showcase, the question isn't if Xbox has a future. The real question is what the future actually looks like. Because after watching this event, I came away with a conclusion. It wants Xbox to be a platform, a service, an ecosystem, whatever you want to call it. Something that follows whatever you play. And if that's true, then maybe we're asking the wrong question. Maybe Xbox isn't trying to beat PlayStation. Maybe it's just trying to become something entirely different. But what do you think? Is Microsoft's strategy the future of gaming? Or is Xbox losing what's actually made it special in the first place? Me personally, I have experienced this already. To be honest, I already played some games on my Amazon Fire Stick. But let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, if you enjoy gaming and technology discussions like this, maybe consider subscribing. Again, my name is Eric, and I'll see you in the next one.